welcome to my new series where I'm going to look at old retro football games that I've enjoyed in the past, and I've come back to play them in the modern day, and most of the time found out they're nowhere near as good as I used to think they were. I'm starting with Kickoff 3 European Challenge, which was actually my first ever football game that I owned for any console. I had a number of sort of management games for the Commodore 64 and the Amstrad, but I don't really count those. They weren't games where you played football, you were more just the manager. This game at the time I thought was brilliant. I remember going to buy it. I went to Macro. I don't know if Macro's still a thing, but it was one of those shops where you had to add on the VAT yourself to whatever was listed on the shelf. And I didn't go looking for it, but such was the way I was with money back then. You saw a game, you bought it, and that was that. At the time, as I say, absolutely loved it. Now I've come to look into it in the modern day, and turns out critics absolutely hated this game, mainly because it was nothing like the earlier Kickoff games. Basically, this was the first one designed by a guy called Steve Screech, and it took it away from the earlier Kickoff series, which was very popular in the way it was played. This one less popular with critics. For example, it got 38 out of 100 from an Amiga magazine back in the day. As you can see here, I'm just cycling through the various options you get at the very start of the game. Being able to put offsides on and off, you'll never get that now. You choose how strict your referee is, and what I find odd is that the skill level you can change is for the human players rather than the computer. So basically, if you put your skill level really high, you miscontrol the ball a lot, that kind of thing. The game itself actually got quite a lot of options, considering it's quite an early SNES game. You can play any sort of friendly match, European international teams, that's fairly normal. Any league across the major European nations. Likewise with the cups, English, French, Spanish, Italian, etc. There's also a European Cup, which is clubs, and a World Cup, which is internationals. There's a challenge mode and a practice mode. The challenge mode makes no sense. You play Anco United over and over again for little to no reason. So I'm just going to play friendly, just to show you the game itself, before we dive into a World Cup a little bit later on. So see the teams on offer here: English, French, German, Spanish, Italian. It's the teams from around the 1994-95 season. I've no idea why the likes of Barcelona and Roma are mentioned in others, as well as their actual nations, as almost as if they didn't think people were clever enough to know that Barcelona would be in the Spanish section. But whatever. So I'll just fire up Newcastle, as is my custom, and we'll play against Man United. You get the option to go 2 on a team, 1 versus computer, 1 versus 2, that kind of thing. And what you'll notice here is, although the team names are more or less right, the player names are not. It's a licensing issue. So we've got names that are similar to what they should be, like you've got Bracewell there with just 1 L rather than 2, W. Beardley, Be Cool, but Cool spelled like the fire, and Slay, or S. Lee, which I'm guessing is meant to be Rob Lee. All the players are rated between 1 and 5. For some reason, Paul Bracewell's been given the old 5 stars here. Goodness knows why. I really don't know. But yeah, why not? You can change the formation. Nothing fancy. It just cycles through on the bottom there as to what you actually want to play. We'll stick with 4-3-3 because that's the default formation. And there you can see Man United's team. Very odd, how considering how good they were at the time. They've got 2 5-star players, and then E. Irwin, Ennis Irwin, I assume that is, gets 1 star. But Cantona and Schmeichel 5 stars, which is very fair. They were their standout players. Spare a thought for A. Dubline and W. Gillespie, obviously Dion and Keith, with their 1-star ratings there as substitutes. Yeah, very odd positions as well. Brian McClay, who it's meant to be, lining up at centre half for Man United to do. No idea. So we go with the game itself. The players coming out the tunnel. Lovely, lovely. Then this bizarre ritual happens where the players pass the ball between themselves. There's Cernacek, and he'll lob it in the general direction of the left back. Actually, nowhere near him. He goes off a run after it. Beresford does some keepy-ups. Lovely, yes, yes. And then he spreads the play, and E. Peacock does the same. There's Clarkey, he'll kick it about a bit. Barry, or Carrie, Venison, T. Watso rather than Steve Watson. It's all very tedious. That's enough of that. Let's just kick off and I'll show you the game itself. So you haven't got loads of options on the old SNES controller. You've only got the 4 buttons plus the shoulder button. So A is pass. You can obviously dribble using the arrows. It's an infuriating game. It's played 1,000 mile an hour, and everything you do is kind of rushed and just like sort of generally the ball is thrown about in the vague direction of where you want it to go. That's why we'll chip it long, which I've just done there. It sort of resembles a game of football in that there are 22 players on the pitch and a football, but there's very little skill involved. A lot of the goals that you score are dribbles, such as this, that's probably a foul, but you know, why not? What else annoys me about this game is the clock. Why is the clock like that? That's a goal. Every other game has either a digital time, or whether it's done in real time or in turn with 90 minutes by, you know, going through a minute a second or whatever you want to call it. Not this game. No, we've got the old school clock. So we've played a quarter of an hour, which I guess is fair, but no one ever times a game like that. You can't skip replays, which is what you see in this goal from Cantona again. That's annoying. That's the only time you'll see the score as well, once you've conceded, unless you pause the game. There's very little on-screen display except for the shirt numbers in the bottom left and right, which is either the current player on the ball or the last player to touch the ball for either team. If we dive into the pause menu, what I do like about this is you've got action replay, which underused. Sometimes it's nice to see a replay. But in the team talk bit, you can give your team some instructions. So if I want to tell my boys to push forward, in theory they will attack more. Same as we're 1-0 down, why not? I can change the formation. It doesn't feel the need to show me who's going to play where. I can literally just change the formation and hope it works out for the best. And if I do a substitution, I pick who's coming off. Let's just sub old Scott Sellers there. But I will not get to pick who comes on until the ball goes dead. Let's just play on for a bit and see if I can get us back into this game. It is very, very odd. I mean, I know it's quite early for a football game, but I can see why the people who bought Kickoff 2 and loved the Kickoff series didn't like this, because it's just mental at times. I mean, right, that sums it up. Keeper had the ball in his hands. I went to throw it out. It I don't know, hits Cantona on the back of the head. You can decide. There he's claiming the ball. There he's trying to throw it out in a ludicrous manner. It hits him in the head and it goes in. I mean, quite hilarious really, but Cantona celebrates with a backflip, and now we'll kick off. Interesting how it didn't make the sub, even though the ball was dead there. But he's old Bandy Cool trying to get us back into it, but he's lost it. Dear. I'll always be losing to Man United. It doesn't matter what game or real life or otherwise. Here's a chance, and I've fluffed that as well. Here comes the sub though. Off he goes. When you just go straight down the tunnel, and eventually you get to pick who comes on. So let's have Malcolm Allen, and he just comes running from the dressing room. It's lovely. Notice there were linesmen there though. I mean, it took Pro Evolution Soccer years to get linesmen, so that's good. But that's quite enough of that. Let me just quit that, and here we are back to the main screen. So what I'll do now is let's do a World Cup. We'll just set these settings to be fairly normal after I've just done a bit of messing about. So if we go down to Cup, I'll just knock that over to International. Or World, sorry, whatever you want to call it. That's a tough group. Brazil, France and Denmark. 6 groups, which is what the norm was back then, back in '94. So I guess I'll play Brazil first. The England squad, again, same thing. We have player names, but they just sort of resemble their real life counterparts. Even looking down the subs, our Ferdinand's, I guess, is going to be Les. Or I suppose Rio would probably have been quite happy with that. Kinky Ints there. Interesting, we've got Lasso and Lee Sharp on the wings here. That's, well, I say Lee Sharp, I assume it's Lee Sharp. With David Platt and Gaza in the engine room. Brazil, well, they look fairly good. Bebeto, Edmundo, Romario, yeah. All players I wish I had. Here come the teams then. We'll not go through this, thanks Tim Flowers. Just, come on, let's crack on. No? Alright. Dorigos. There we go, right. Let's get on with it. Now, because I don't really wish to sit through all these matches, here's some highlights. That was a good shot that hit the post, and it made a very satisfying sound, so I left that in. But now, here's Paul Parker, and that's just 1-0 up. It's a nice goal. The keeper shakes a fist, rightly so. There's only a handful of celebrations. Paul Parker celebrates in front of a exuberant crowd. Look at them, sitting deadly still. I've cut out the replays, and there's the equaliser. I mean, again, a similar celebration there. The crowd don't move an inch. Indeed, 1-1, which is how it finished. So, next up was France. It is a tough group. England weren't very good back then either. In fact, we didn't even qualify for the '94 World Cup. So, how we get out of this group, I have no idea. But a draw with Brazil is a good start. So then, France. And here's Ian Wright. Oh, Ian Wright. That would have been nice to score from the kick-off. But never fear, because Shearer's here, and that's 1-0. Keeper threw his gloves down there, and that's a very exuberant celebration from Al. And that's half-time. Oh, I say half-time, I meant full-time. Obviously very keen to get that one out of the way. A nice 1-0 win. I might go through here. All we've got to do is draw with Denmark. We can draw with Denmark. Yeah, keep the same team. You don't scare me, Denmark. Although I suppose they were the European champions at this time, so probably quite highly rated. Here's a corner to Denmark. It's alright. There's Des Walker, he'll deal with it. Nope. Oh dear. El Strupper. Don't know who he is, but he's found a section of the Denmark fans there, tapping their feet in delight. We don't need to see the replay. We don't need to see the replay. Oh, we've seen the replay. Great. Here we go then. Righty, saved. Rebound, goal. Lasso. And that's a very nice celebration. Oh, here's Lasso again. Look at him go. Oh, what a goal. Graham Lasso. Or in this case, Mame Lasso. Yeah, you celebrate, Graham. Mame. Whatever. He's righty. He'll know what to do. Round the keeper and 3-1. What a hero. The alarm clock was about to go off for half time, but instead we get to see Ian Wright celebrate. Second half now. Sharp 4-1. And the keeper gets down on his knees and prays. And there he is, just staring at the ball in the back of the net. Yeah, Schmeichel, you think about what you've done. Here's Gaza. And, well, Wrighty's nicked it off him and it's in. So, yeah, probably offside, to be honest, but I believe I turned offsides off on the main screen. So what you gonna do? Oh, we're coming again. Oh, well, that's offside, definitely, but Ian Wright doesn't care. He's claiming that one on the goal line, and that's eat your heart out, Harry Kane and Son, or Dele Alli, whoever. That's Ireland's group. Don't really need to say that. Let's move on. Oh, lovely, lovely. Groups. What happened there? Ah, all draws. What a great group. But nevertheless, we're through, and that's all that matters. And we'll play Germany, of course. Right. Well, that seems fair, doesn't it? Oh well, let's get on with it. Yes. That's all fine. Oh dear me, look at that German team. 5 stars for a lot of players. Does that mean anything? I guess we'll find out. Howland, crack on. Ian Wright from the kickoff. This would be handy. Oh, what a great guy. Lee in, right. Oh, we're coming again. Oh, 2-0. Ian Wright. Lee and Wright, whatever you want to call him. We're through. Take that, Germany. So it looks like we'll be playing Brazil next, but that's where the plot thickens. It's a random draw, and it's Russia, which is probably better for us, let's be honest. Haven't made a single change in this game. Squad rotation, not a thing in 1994. Especially when your subs have got 1-star and 2-star ratings. No time for that. Ooh, a throw in. What's going to happen here? An overhead kick and oh yeah, great. Good keeping there. He blames the defence. Lee Sharp's away. He's doing somersaults many miles from where he scored, but whatever. Oh, he's Lasso. What's Lasso? Oh, hang on, wait. I see. Ian Wright's claimed that one, and he's doing somersaults as well. Here come Russia though. Ball in. Oh, it's 2-1. Game on. Ta-ta chuck. Isn't that what Cilla Black used to say at the end of Blind Date? We're through. Bulgaria now. Why? Well, I suppose they were alright as well. They made the semis in '94. Might be a tough game. They've got a 1-star up front. That's good. And a 2-star in midfield. I assume one of them Stoichkov. Maybe. We've been working hard on this to reach this stage. Here comes Des Walker, and he scored. You'll never beat Des Walker, or indeed stop him from scoring. And he celebrates the same way everybody else has, in front of a boisterous man in a green jumper. No one else has done anything. Oh, grief. And Gaza celebrates. Good goalkeeping though, wasn't it? Here we go again. Shearer, 3. No one hand in the air celebrations here. He's going to the boisterous away fans. Oh, and there's a goal back. It's alright. Sibian? Whatever. Final time. Brazil. Well, we start as we finish. We finish as we start. I don't know. We play them in the first game and the last game. Yeah, same team. No, he's Edmundo. That's a cross. And it's gone in. And it's like Ronaldinho against Seaman all over again. But Edmundo against Flowers, but spelt incorrectly. That corner's popular. It's alright though, because here is Alan Shearer, and that's 1-1. 15 minutes on the alarm clock, and we're back in the game. Sharp, what a guy. Yeah, that's right. You shake that fist. And Lee Sharp and the keeper. I love how the keepers just stare at the ball in the goal. Where did it all go wrong? Why am I here? There's Jairzinho though. Oh, Des. 2-2. It's a good goal actually. It felt like a celebration in style. It feels like a real goal, that, not like the rest of the nonsense goals we've seen so far. Like this one from Gaza. Keeper should probably save that. Gaza doesn't care. Lol. Gascoigne. What's going on here? Pull it back. Score. Yeah. It's 4-2. And right he's on the score sheet, the main man, and no wonder he's doing flips. England have won the World Cup 4-2. It's like 1966, but in 1994 on a SNES. Good, lovely, and there's a man dressed as a wasp lifting the trophy. Not England, but apparently England. And that's that. So, that's it for this game. I think you can all agree the best thing about this game, and probably this video, was the opening sequence. I'll be back soon with another game from the distant past, but in the meantime, please follow me on Twitter at CM9798 and subscribe to the YouTube channel. See you again soon.